In this section, I want to talk about dynamic tunnels that are created using different technologies such as 6-to-4 or isotab. First of all, I want to talk about 6-to-4 automatic tunnel, that is a dynamic multi-point tunnel. And to create it, you only need a source interface, that's all. So this is the best part of it, but it has drawbacks too. For example, you cannot select any prefix to create your tunnel. And let me show you what I mean by this. You can only use 2002 per standard for your IPv6 address in your network if you are using 6-to-4 tunnel. And of course, again, after 2002, you cannot add anything except a conversion of your IPv4 address into hexadecimal. Assuming that my source interface has an IPv4 address of, for example, 220.112, for example, 95.251, I need to convert it into hexadecimal, and for this I use a calculator in programmer mode. And you can see that 212 converts to hexadecimal and becomes D4, so this is D4. 112, so I come back to decimal and type 112 and click on hexadecimal. You can see that it is 70. I type 70, and this is 16-bit of my 32-bit. I add a colon. 95, go back to decimal and type 95. Click on hexadecimal. You can see that it is 5F, and I have 251. So I come back to decimal and type 251 and click on hexadecimal. That is FB. FB. So this is a conversion of my IPv4 address into hexadecimal format. I copy this and add it to my 2002. Now I have 48-bit prefix and I have 16-bit left. In 16-bit I can select any number for my subnet ID, and after that I can assign a host ID. Now what I am going to use is my loopback 0 interface on router 3, that is 3333, and the conversion to hexadecimal makes it 03030303, and you do not need to have these preceding zeros, but I let it be here. So I add it here, and this is my prefix. Okay, select it and go to router 3. On router 3, you can see that I have removed any IPv6 configuration that I had previously, and I go to interfaces and select the 6-to-4 tunnel interface. Click on that. The name is going to be SIT1. That's okay for me. The local address is the only mandatory field that you need to have it. 3333. I am on router 3. So I click on OK. That's it. I have my interface. Now I need to assign its IPv6 address. So I go to IPv6 addresses, select this interface, and this is the prefix that I have created. And after that, a double colon, a host ID part, for example 3/64. That's it. Click on OK. Now as you can see, I have an interface with this address 2002.303.303 double colon 3/64, and I need to assign an IPv6 address to Ethernet 6, for example. This is the part of my network that has its IPv6 application, so I need to have an IPv6 address. I click on plus, select Ethernet 6, and as you can see, I am using the same 48-bit that I have selected to have on tunnel interface. But after that, I have 16 bits left, so I want to have another part. I type a colon and, for example, network 1 double colon 3/64. This is the IPv6 address that I have added. As you can see, based on that 48-bit, I have created a 64-bit prefix, and I have assigned it to Ethernet 6. Click on OK. Now I have to configure one more piece of command here. I need to go to IPv6 routes and define a static route, because on 6 to 4 tunnel I cannot have routing protocols. So I click on this plus, type 2002 /16, and all my communication to this prefix will go through interface tunnel. Select the tunnel interface, that's it. Click on apply, click on OK, and everything is working just fine on this side. Now if I want to connect to other routers, I need to have the same configuration on those routers. For example, I want to connect to router 4, for example. So I go to router 4 and create an interface here, a 6 to 4 interface. And the source is going to be my loopback interface. Click on OK. Go to IPv6 addresses, assign an address to this tunnel interface, and that's going to start with 2002, and after that 4444 is the address of this loopback interface, so I need to have 0404 as a conversion of 4444 to hexadecimal. And after that a double colon 4, for example, is its host ID, and it is a 64-bit address. And again, make sure that you have copied this part. Click on OK. And Ethernet 6 is the part of my network that connects to IPv6 island, so I click on this and select Ethernet 6. And I assign another subnet part, that is 1:4/64. This is the address of this part, so I click on OK, and again I need one more configuration, that is assigning a static route, and it goes to tunnel interface. Click on apply, click on OK, and everything is working just fine. Now to test this configuration, I go to ping and select to ping 2002 3 no, that was yes, 0303030313. Of course this is 2 colons. If I start the ping, you can see that the ping is working just fine. And if I want to have this from my 2002 404 404 1:4, that's my Ethernet 6 interface. I want to start, and you can see that I can reach to the other side, and the other side can reach me, and everything is working just fine. This is called 6 to 4 tunnel interface. In next part, I want to talk about ISATAP interface.